Let's talk about feelings. Now, on hearing that word, if your first impulse is to scroll or to skip this video, then maybe this is for you. Growing up, we were taught that we are only allowed to have the so-called positive feelings. Happiness, gratitude, basically those two. And all the other things, you should be working hard, you should be feeling good about yourself and good about others, you should feel grateful to your parents and your elders for all the things they do to you. That's all you're allowed to feel, and you're always supposed to be cheerful. That is how we were raised. So what happened is, we learned that there is something really wrong with all the so-called negative feelings, things like sadness and jealousy and anger. But the truth is, feelings are merely an indicator. They just indicate that either one of your need is not being met, or they indicate that there is a certain bias or a cognitive bias you have which is making you misinterpret things in a way, or they indicate that there is something you really want to achieve that you're not putting effort into. It could be anything. Okay, so feelings are just indicators, and they don't have to run the show. They don't have to be the basis of your decision making. But do you know what happens when you run away from sadness and anger and jealousy and all of these feelings? When you run away, when you try to avoid them, or when you try to say that you don't have these feelings, instead of accepting them and just letting them go, your decision making becomes very emotional. So these feelings start running your life. So the decisions you make, you might think that they're very logical, but they're actually based on these very fleeting emotions. But if you acknowledge your emotion, if you learn to name your emotion, accept it, feel it, and then let it go, then you're free to live your life. Your feelings no longer run your show. You can run the show using your logical mind. So that is why it's very important that as children we receive the support we need to understand our feelings, to name them, and to deal with them. Most of us did not get that. Especially in highly controlling communities or religions or families, you're really taught to villainize certain emotions rather than taking care of your actions and making sure that those feelings don't control your actions. So, to all such people who were raised to fear emotions, I wish you a lifetime of healing, and I hope that you find the courage to accept and handle your emotions in a healthy way, in an effective way, rather than running from them.